Hello and welcome to Rebels Radio latest interview with joint Slough Town manager Jon Underwood. How are you, John?
Good, thanks, John. Yeah, you?
Yeah, not too bad at all. So we've had a few days now to reflect on the game at home to Chesham on Monday, which obviously you lost 3-0. What are your thoughts about it?
Obviously disappointed. Disappointed to lose the unbeaten record, which we were. It was only 5 games, but we were proud of that. We'd battled back on the Saturday to keep that unbeaten record. So disappointing to lose it. Looking back, obviously watch the highlights. We didn't deserve to win the game. We didn't deserve. Hard to argue that we deserved anything from the game. I think the game could have gone differently. Obviously there were key moments where we had good chances at 1-0. I do honestly believe if we'd have taken one of those, we would have at least got that point. I think we might have even gone on 1x. I thought we started the second half very well, but when you see how the second half panned out, they were more clinical than we were, and obviously they therefore deserved to get the points. So disappointing, but we're over that now, and that record was going to go at some point, and we're looking forward to hopefully starting another run.
Yeah. So what is your view on the season so far? You've obviously now played 6 games.
Yeah. Overall, reasonably happy. We'd like to have a few more points on the board. Obviously, we looked at Monday's game. If we'd have won on Monday, we'd have had 12 points from 6 games, and we are ambitious, and we've said this before. We don't want to just stand still. We want to try and push on, and 2 points per game is generally kind of playoff form, and we're always kind of keep an eye on that. And obviously, if we could have done that in our first 6 games, that would have been a great start. We're on 9. If I'm honest, I think we feel like we probably should be on 11. We had a couple of late equalisers. I think if we'd have won one of those games and had 2 more points on the board, I think that's probably where we feel we deserve to be. But at the end of the day, you get the points you deserve, and these things even out. And I'm sure we'll nick points and nick wins throughout the season that we may not deserve. So
yeah. What key lessons have you learned so far within these 6 games? Is there anything that you're particularly taking from them or talking to the lads about?
Well, obviously we're learning about the league as we go. It's not a league that myself and Bakes knew a huge amount about. I haven't seen lots of games at this level. Some of the players have played it, some haven't. So I think a few things we've really noticed so far. There aren't any easy games. I know there were a couple of big wins for teams on Monday, but generally there aren't easy games. Everybody that you come up against is going to work hard and scrap, and as we've seen, if you've only got a 1-goal lead going into the last few minutes, teams just keep throwing everything at you. We've been out and watched a few other games as well, and that's one thing that struck us is all the teams work hard. They're well organised, and there's no gimmies. You don't go into games. There was perhaps 1 or 2 games last year where you knew if you went in and you were average, you could still win. You can't do that this year. You've got to play well. No one's going to give you 3 points, and I think we'll come on to talk about Histon. I know, but there's no better example of that than this Saturday.
Yeah. So what have the players been doing this week? Obviously, not 2 games in short succession, Monday and Saturday.
Yep.
What have they done since? Yeah,
we trained tonight. So yeah, pretty much everybody trained. There were a couple of little precautionary knocks where people. James Dobson had a bit of a knock, and he didn't train tonight. He was there and had treatment. He'll be fine, but there was no need for him to train. He's had a lot of football. 1 or 2 getting treatment, but it was good to see Luke Knight in full training. Johnny Dyer trained. We had to kind of protect him a little bit tonight. I wouldn't say he was in kind of full contact, and we've got to make a decision for him on Saturday. But no, the majority of the group trained, and it was a positive session as always, and everyone's just really focused on Saturday. We're looking forward to getting back out on the pitch and hopefully getting another win.
Yeah, you've touched on a couple of the players there and injuries. Can you confirm what the squad's going to be for Saturday?
Yeah, pretty much. I think we obviously in terms of who's missing, Eddie's hamstring. Eddie's hamstring's not as bad as we first feared, but he obviously won't be right for Saturday. If he's very lucky, Weymouth, but more likely the following week. But we'll he'll step it up throughout next week, and we'll see how he is. But he'll miss tomorrow. As I say, Johnny will leave that one until we get there on Saturday. as to how he is with his rib injury, but he's not a million miles away. Obviously, Darryl, who's got flu, he was fine. He's back in full training. And Luke Knight will be in the squad, and obviously he was on the bench and came off the bench. So we'll name the squad on the kind of the normal release today. Later today. There's potentially one other new addition.
Okay.
We had a lad train with us tonight, who we became aware of a couple of days ago, who has been at Southampton. He got released in the summer from Southampton. So I won't say any more on that one just yet. We haven't finalised that one yet. He may be on the bench for a Saturday, but we'll confirm that as soon as we can. But other than that, no. Scott Harris won't be involved. He's actually away this weekend, but he was still struggling with a groin injury. Jake Parsons, we're hoping to get 90 minutes somewhere, because obviously he needs games. So we'll have a 15 or 16 man squad, depending on this lad that I mentioned. So we're quite happy with what we're going in with. I've just remembered the other one that is missing is Guy Hollis. Yeah. Guy is away, but that's not. We don't see that as an issue. Tom Moran's had a great start to the season. He's been playing ever so well at right back, but his natural position is centre back. So Tom will slot in alongside Reece, with Sean at right back. So we're quite happy with that. And Tom deserves to be in the side based on his performances, and it'll be good to see how he does at centre half.
Yeah. What do you know of Histon so far?
Obviously, we know their results. We know they've only got a point on the board. We know they're young. We've had a bit of a report from Biggleswade, who they drew with. I spoke to somebody at Hungerford. Hungerford beat them 1-0, and they said they were young, but they worked very hard, and they were very hard to break down, obviously. And Hungerford only beat them 1-0, and Hungerford are very good at home. So they had some narrow defeats. Obviously, they had a big defeat Monday in the local derby, which may have hurt them a little bit confidence-wise. But at the same time, they'll be looking to bounce back. And as I said earlier on, we're not going to be disrespectful to anyone. We're new to this level, so we're not at a stage yet where we can go into games being overconfident. We haven't won any of our last 3 games, so it's desperately important for us that we get 3 points on Saturday. But we'll only do that if we play well.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for your time, and once again giving us a full update. We wish you all the best for Saturday, and
Cheers.
Look forward to speaking to you next week.
Okay, thanks, John.
Cheers, John.
Cheers.